What is up, everybody? It is another wonderful day. We are here. I'm Jay for the dub. And this is another episode of Let's Talk About It. Yesterday, I was talking about how are we actually skipping, or it just looks like on my end that we're skipping? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But yesterday I said we're going to talk about GP today because GP is a hellhole. The whole Coda. I hope you know everybody can see you. Stick your head out of the window over there. Looking like a weirdo. I know. It's hot in here. I should have shaved. Kind of things. But this morning I was moving around a lot. So it's all good. But Coda. Who are you barking at, dude? Coda. What's outside? Anyway. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna talk about GP today. Yesterday I was towards the end of my show I started talking about GP and because we were talking about values and things that we value and how people should calculate value, I guess, as far as like priceless things, with people and stuff, and also the actual physical value of things like cars and houses and stuff of that, which are things we value, but also with the miscommunication of the English language, those things tend to get confusing on exactly what people mean by when they say, do you value this or value that? It's very sad when you think about it, but it's not that bad. Well, actually, it is very bad. I don't know what I was saying on that part, but yeah, like I said, need to properly equate your values or actually see where your values and things lie. But like I said, I was trying to get around to what it is, but man, I totally forgot where exactly we were coming from with yesterday's conversation from GP and why we was going to start talking about GP today. But for the most part, we can just dive right into it. I know why, because we were just talking about different stories about stuff that's happened. I can't remember the last story I was telling about GP that really made it, I was using for values or towards values and stuff. But it's all good. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Let me take a second to make sure everything is working properly. I know there's a couple things. I noticed I didn't get a notification to say we're posted on Facebook, so let me make sure all that stuff is hitting. While I get a couple of people in here, to talk to and stuff like that. As we talk about Grand Prairie, because as we all know, Grand Prairie is a horrible place, but it is trying to do better. I mean, the last time I was there, the city looked completely different. I mean, there's so many like places they're building and so much, like I said, between 161 and everything that they're building along 161, it's turned into like almost a completely different city. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually got public transportation in the next 10 years or so, but that's a stretch. It's not LA. I mean, they really need a train that goes up and down 161. That would be amazing. They had a train that went down 161. But then there would be all these people from Grand Prairie and Plano. So, who I'm pretty sure Plano doesn't want that. They already got people coming from Dallas and Westmoreland going to Plano on the train. So, I'm pretty sure they don't want that, all those Plano white folks. But yeah, so like I said, Grand Prairie, in a nutshell, it's pretty dope, but it's also pretty whack. It's got tons of people managing to make their way up out of there. Like I said, we've got, as far as like I'm concerned and the people that I personally know, like there's tons of people who have definitely made it out of Grand Prairie and made something of it for sure. It's like I said, I can think of plenty of people like Nate and Chris J, and I'm trying to think of another more big name that people would think of. Like I said, like Selena Gomez and stuff like that. Like people who lived in Grand Prairie and actually made something of it. There's tons of other people who are doing like more small time things. Like I said, I named Chris J because I've seen him on like Tyler Perry movies and stuff like that, which is incredible. But yeah. But the main thing, like I don't know why, but I'm losing my mind trying to think of exactly where we were going this morning. But I know you do outdoor mobile concerts. It's like an obvious thing. Uh, but yeah, really trying to get this shared, but stuff happens so fast on Facebook that you're constantly getting notifications and things like that, and it blows my mind, which also distracts me from whatever it is that I'm talking about. Um, so many things, so many things. Okay, well at least it shows that I'm live for once. Oh look, there we are. It's up there, and it's stuck. Oh man, that is what? How could I do that? That is so lit. Like if I'm on here, I just won't be able to watch this live unless they're in your selected audience. I didn't know that, but that's cool. Okay, well let's just get this shared once or twice. We'll copy it. Thank you. It says it always shows you're alive. It remember the other day it didn't show that I was live. My first couple of shows when I came back didn't show that I was live or didn't give people a notification. So that's why I'm just wondering, making sure it was all working right. I do see my camera is working amazing this morning, but you know things aren't exactly hitting on the ones and twos. Uh, but yeah. But yeah, I am glowing. I'm always glowing. There's a little echo, but it's all. I'm guessing that's good. But yeah, I'm trying to get some other things going. This is the only thing about. You're so stupid. Yeah, this is the only thing about doing a live show sometimes is that you get a little off track because things aren't always as straightforward as it is. But that's why I be like having conversations and stuff. I don't know during the day because then it gives me ideas of what I'm talking about. But yeah, but I forgot what it was that we was talking about earlier today. I don't know. We was talking about a bunch of things this morning.
Burnt eggs.
Burnt eggs. He said he was talking about burnt eggs and how they smell like shrimp.
Shrimp skewers. I'm shrimp. Them hoes sound like shrimp like a hoe. I'm
It's
dead.
hilarious. I sound far. Oh wow! Now it looks like my sound's not coming through at all. That's hilarious. Okay, no wonder I sound far away. It's not picking up sound at all now. It doesn't look like it. There we go. All right. How about that? Is that better? Yeah. Cool. appreciate it. We had more people in here, but now it's not as many people. Yeah, I'm really trying to get this shared and everything because I don't know. I'm really mad that I forgot where I was going this morning talking about GP, but yeah, it's cool. And normally I'm one of those people who has so much stuff to talk about, but sometimes when you get online and you just forget exactly where you're going, and I don't know, get distracted. So it's cool. Nobody seems to have anything to talk about today. I don't know. Yo, what's up, Herbert? Appreciate you stopping in over on YouTube and stuff. It's cool. I'm glad to see people over on YouTube are actually, stepping in and stuff, and it's actually working over there for you guys. Give me a comment and let me know how the stream is rolling. That'd be awesome. But yeah, there we go. For those of you all who are popping in on Instagram or whatever, hello from Manchester. Oh wow, all the way in Manchester. That's dope. It's cool, clean to see that people are popping in all the way from Manchester. If you pop in on Instagram, just know that click the link and it'll take you over to the live feed over on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Not Instagram, but YouTube or Twitch. Well, actually, this is the Facebook link, but yeah. But anyway, like I said, we were talking about Grand Prairie today, and I'm not going to talk about all the corrupt things in Grand Prairie, but I do want to talk about some of the stories and things that have happened in Grand Prairie, just like, different legends and stuff like that. I've had several different days and times where we've talked about things in Grand Prairie. For instance, we've talked about the time that, somebody got shot at the YMCA in the head. We've also talked about a couple of other personal family stories about when one of our brothers got pinned for robbing the pizza man, when in reality he really wasn't even robbing the pizza lady. He really just kind of asked her to don't tell who he was in a nutshell, and he just wanted pizzas because they didn't have food at his house. But that's long story, and people don't ever want to really get the full story or care about the full story, let alone the law. For a fact of the matter, they do whatever they can to make things go by quick and fast, and then they just wrongly convict people, especially in Texas. It's crazy how many wrongful convictions there are. And Grand Prairie is definitely one of those small towns that doesn't have the money to put forth a truthful investigation on anything. So they just do half-ass investigations and then, just be like, oh, well, this is what you're charged with, and we'll pass on to Dallas or Fort Worth. And, and that's it in a nutshell. But that's not what I really wanted to talk about as far as Grand Prairie, though, today. I remember when Grand Prairie started getting QTs. That was, the highlight. It was a super highlight of Grand Prairie. I don't know. Even though Arlington been had QTs for forever, but they also had racetracks, which are fake QTs, which are trash. And Grand Prairie had racetrack for the longest. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny how we talk about QT. QT is this super amazing monument, as far as gas station goes, like Buc-ee's. But it's not, and then we just totally throw racetrack to the side because it's garbage looking. Racetrack is a mini truck stop, which is hilarious. You think about it, you're well, racetracks did have some of the biggest gas stations before QTs, and racetracks definitely have all the stuff that QT has as far as slushies and stupid, ignorant shit like that. But yeah, QT is way more organized as far as it goes. But yeah, y'all remember that one time when it snowed in Grand Prairie, or not necessarily snowed, but it iced over? that was the last time, other than more recently, that they've gotten like a blizzard. And it's funny because I talk to people who were in Texas when it snowed and all that stuff. Were you out? You were out there when it was snowing? You had came back. You had just got back. You were out there still. Yeah, everybody act like it was so hard. Like that was like, oh my gosh, there's so much snow, so much.
They held the plane up for like an hour and a half. I was on the runway. They ran that bitch up for a long ass time.
I believe it.
God. What's up, my G?
He's like, oh Frank, you're still here?
He's like, God, you're my favorite guy, except for Jordan.
Type shit.
Punch me in the throat, Frank.
But yeah, it was pretty crazy how people were panicking out there as far as what to do. And that wasn't just Grand Prairie, that was like everywhere. But yeah, people didn't know what to do with their whenever it snowed like that. In Grand Prairie, the whole Metroplex was shut down damn near.
Bro, my dad lost power for like 3 days. My sister lost power for like a week. It was niggas had like $17,000 light bills and shit.
Yeah, cause it was funny because they was doing rolling blackouts across the city and shit, and then they didn't really even care. Like Texas doesn't have the infrastructure to deal with snow and stuff especially on that scale. It's crazy, like
Niggas out there stuck like Chuck. Bro. God. They wasn't prepared. Like, so many people was talking to me and telling me, I was like, man. Texas just doesn't know what to do with all this doggone snow. There's no they wasn't set up for it, and it's funny because a lot of people who know anything about politics and the politics in Texas, and especially like Grand Prairie, DFW area, a lot of people that know about that area know that Texas, one of their major exports in Texas is power. Yeah.
So with that being said, and they flourish off of power, selling power to other states and stuff like not other countries, but other states and stuff like that in other areas. It's funny how your infrastructure gets shut down to the point where you can't even provide power for your own people, but you're out here selling power to other places and stuff like that. I bet you they kept their power on the people that they're selling the power to, because why would you cut off? If you're selling 75% of your electricity, why would you, give it to the people? Like, we got to cut down selling from 75% to 50% and give another 25% to the people, like the people who deserve the power. That's what happens when you don't get put on a grid or a government type grid, like just like the rest of the United States, or majority of the United States are all on this grid, so you don't have to do rolling blackouts like that. But yeah, Texas in a whole was busted when that happened, and I kind of wish I was out there, because at that point in time I feel like the fact that I've been out in the big snow, like I've been out in 6 feet of snow, I've been out doing digging people out of their houses. I would have been out there with a shovel making at least like $10 a house. Be like, oh, it might be 3 inches of snow, but I'll dig out your driveway and everything. I'll dig out the car so you can pull your cars out of the driveway, or at least put them back in the garage. Scam Likely calls me a lot. You know who really calls me a lot and it really pisses me off? Hey, we're just calling to extend your warranty. I'll be like, first off, my car is a 2002. The warranty on this truck has been gone, and that is right. I don't have. This car has no warranty. So for you to call me about my extended warranty, I know this is cap, and y'all are trying to get me. They be trying to get you on all type of things. Like, it's funny how scamming is such a major thing people do nowadays. Like, that's like an actual way that people get a. I wouldn't say 80, but it's a huge percentage.
It's a lot bigger than a lot of people think, bro. That shit big as hell. A lot of niggas scam. Niggas you wouldn't even think be scam, bro. Well, yeah, and then on top of the fact of scamming, like it's a lot of things that people do just like on a regular basis that's not actually scamming. That like, or it is scamming, but people don't look at it as scamming per se. You know, like like just natural government funding type things. Like when you get everybody in your house on food stamps separately, that's a scam. When you got a food stamp card, you're
whenever niggas got 6 kids and they go to somebody and be like, I'll put kids in your taxes and please I'll give you $1,500. I'll break.
Order simple fact.
I got 7 baby daddies and can't find nobody to put taxes on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, order simple fact when you got like 3 kids and you low key got like you getting more than 10 bands in tax return. It's like you low key that's a scam. I mean, I put it like this. I know people who have good jobs, who have decent jobs, and don't get anywhere near $3,000 a child. I know some people who, like I said, you have 2 kids and you get more than 10 grand. Like you're obviously doing some sort of scamming. Like you might know somebody who knows how to do taxes in a proper way to where you can get 10 grand on a more official way, but that's still partially like scamming because not everyday Joe knows how to properly do taxes and stuff like that. And I guess anything like having the overall knowledge of anything is almost basically like a scam because like I said, if you know exactly how something works, then you know how to get over on that system, or at least how to maximize the system for your personal gain. And it's crazy that a lot of people don't realize that. Like I don't know how people don't understand that, but yeah. Like the just the common knowledge of just having like knowing like okay like oh if this works this way and this way like oh well, you really don't even need this part or this part. It's like knowing how a car works. Cause like if you truly know how a car works, then you know like there's all these extra parts to stop your car from going faster or stop your car from working a particular way. And a lot of people don't realize, like, oh, yeah, you take it to a mechanic, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, you need this, and this. And the whole reason that there's all these extra parts for you to do it is because so he can have a job. And that's how a lot of stuff works. Like, a lot of stuff, if you know the true intricate workings or something, then you can figure out exactly how you can, be your own boss with it or whatever. Like I said, you figure out how a carpet is made or whatever. You simply get like it's funny how people are making carpets and stuff where it's like a thing to like do it yourself, and a lot of people are doing stuff themselves and finding out that oh if I just do this for myself like it's a lot cheaper than just going and buying this or whatever. Like you know like I said like simply like mechanics is like the easiest thing to talk about when it comes to like doing it yourself, because for one there's the how much the mechanic's going to charge you to do it. Granted, you would not charge yourself a dime to put it in. And then 2, even after that, there's the markup on the parts and so on and so forth. And like that, you end up paying 400% more than what you would have if you just did it yourself. But, right, you went to the junkyard and pulled the parts and all this other stuff.
No.
What? Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say about that, but it's whatever. I don't know. That thoroughly like pissed me off, but it's done already. But yeah, on that note, I don't know. I like that really just threw me. That really threw me. It's cool. Hey, what's up, you guys? We were talking about something, but then my dog decided he was going to tear something up, and it thoroughly just threw my whole vibe off. But it's cool. I really appreciate everybody for stopping in today. But yeah. Damn. I don't know. I really don't know how to feel now. Really don't. I really wish man, I don't know. My whole motivation has been shot at this point now. I think we're gonna cut the show at 30 minutes today because I gotta deal with some stuff. But maybe on Thursday when we come back, we will have a stronger point to talk about and some other awesome things to, have put in place. But until then, this has been Jay for the dub, and this is Let's Talk About It. I hope everybody has a wonderful day.